Oh, time for a refill. Just what the doctor called for. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and I got my refill. That's right, guys. I'm ready to rock and roll, and it is Wednesday. You guys are out picking up your new comic books on this fabulous new comic book day. But guys, it is also time for another comic book speculation recommendations. The video where I look off into the future at final order cutoff and new comic book day of next week. This way you guys have enough time to put in your pre-orders for your final order cutoff books and to also reach out to your local LCS and tell them, hey, I was watching Bruce and Stephanie Comics comic book speculation recommendations. I like what he had to say. I did my own research, and I would like to pick up a couple extra copies of these books because I would like to start and make this hobby fun itself. Alright guys, it is time for my 2 weekly reminders. I tell you guys about these each and every single week because these are very important, especially when talking about speculation. And the first one will always be, guys, you gotta do your own research. This is so important because you know why? Because speculation is just educated guesses. I am taking my knowledge of comic books and making some educated guesses of what I think could be good spec on these books. So, what are you guys gonna do? Well, I suggest you guys go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic books websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible on these books so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself, because at the end of the day, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. Not mine, yours. Alright guys, and the last reminder that I have for you guys is that there are delays happening right now, and they happen all the time, but they are just more prevalent right now because of all the paper shortages. But books will show up multiple times on FOC week after week, especially with that Geiger 80-page giant. It is back again this week. I'm gonna mention it again in this week's video. Alright guys, those are all my reminders. So let's jump right into my final order cutoff spec list. Alright guys, it is time to go over all the comic books that have speculation landing on final order cutoff the week of November 28th for your DC and Scout books and November 29th for your Marvel and all the other indies. We always start off these lists with our cover lover pick of the week. This is a cover that just stood out among all the other comic books as the best cover. And I'm going to be honest guys, after going through FOC 3 times and trying to find an amazing cover, there really weren't any standouts in my opinion. But I still had to pick one, so I picked what I thought was the coolest cover. And that is The Harbinger #3, the B cover. This has a cover with a guy with his face like kind of being like pulled apart into 3 different sections, and you kind of see this monster underneath. It's just a really cool thing. It's been done before in the past, but this is the coolest cover that I found on FOC for this week. Guys, what cover was I missing? I'm sure there's some exclusive covers out there that I missed, but this was the coolest cover on FOC that I could find. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if you know of a cooler cover, because I really need a cooler cover to put on this list, but I couldn't find one. Alright guys, let's jump into the speculation for this week. I was pretty happy after putting this list together, guys, because it is actually pretty short. The last few weeks have been these huge, gigantic weeks on FOC with all this speculation, but there's only a few books, so let's not waste any more time and dive into this list. So the first book up is Action Comics number 1038, and this has the first appearance of Kral Ox. I'm totally butchering that. A Polynesian Kryptonian mentor. Next up we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 5, the second printing. Again, this is John Kent revealing himself as bisexual. If you have the first print, why not pick up a copy of the second print? Next up is Teen Titans Academy number 10. This is the origin of Dane/Nevermore. And next up we have Geiger, the 80-page giant. That's right, it is back again. What? How many weeks in a row is this, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. It's got to be 5 or 6. But guys, this is an anthology of stories, including a new character introduction and established character origins. And the next book up is another book that was on the list last week with Gunslinger Spawn number 3. In this book, Gunslinger Spawn comes face to face with a villain from his western past. And last but not least, on our final order cutoff speculation list is Nocterra Special number 1. This is the origin of Blacktop Bill, one of Nocterra's most terrifying creatures. Alright guys, those are all the books on final order cutoff that have speculation. Now, are there any books on this list that I think you guys should pick up extra copies of on spec? Yes, and there is one book that I think you guys should consider, and that is Nocterra Special number 1, and that is mainly because the movie is no longer just officially optioned. No, they have actual writer and director attached to it, so this movie is going to be made. And if you are reading Nocterra, you know that Blacktop Bill is one of the main villains in that story, and it's only so many issues. I think it's like 6 issues so far, 7 issues. So that means I believe they they are going to feature Blacktop Bill in the movie. So if you don't have his first appearance, you gotta get that origin, which is the Noctera Special #1. It's that time of the video where we are gonna switch over to my new comic book day spec for December 1st of 2021. Can you believe we're in December? I can. Time is flying! Alright, we're kicking off this list with my cover lover pick of the week, and there were some really cool covers this week, and I'm sure some of you guys are gonna disapprove of my cover lover pick for this because I only picked one. I didn't do 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I did one cover, and that is for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #123, the Raymond Gay variant. This features Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, all as monsters. That's right, each one is a different monster. We have a mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula, and I forget what the other one is, but that is so freaking cool. It's such a cool cover. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Yes, there were some cool art journal covers this week. There were just some other cool covers, but I guess maybe my love for Ninja Turtles kind of swayed me to pick this cover. But guys, this cover is so awesome. But guys, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to hear what you guys' favorite cover of this week is. But come on, that cover is so cool. You guys gotta admit it down in the comments below. Alright, we only have 2 books on my new comic book day spec list, and this is another book that's been delayed over and over again and showed up on this list over and over again, and that is Wonder Girl #5. This is the first appearance of Wonder Girl's Lost Amazon Tribe, and the Key Collector app also has it as the first appearance of Portia. But you guys, my comic book community, the comic book community, has told me over and over again that that is not her first appearance. It comes in future state Wonder Girl #1 or 2, so I'm not gonna make that mistake again. It's just the first appearance of Wonder Girl's Lost Amazon Tribe, and if they are gonna make some kind of TV show about Yara Flor, they're gonna feature her Lost Amazon Tribe. So you can get that first appearance right here in Wonder Girl #5, and come on, that Jenny Fersen B cover is pretty freaking gorgeous. Alright guys, my second and last pick for new comic book day spec is kind of a stretch. I'm admitting it. I like to stretch things sometimes, but I'm gonna go with Devil's Reign #1. This is the first appearance of Kingpin's Thunderbolts. I guess he's getting his own team of Thunderbolts in this series. But, alright, this is the stretch. Guys, listen to me, listen to me. We do know that Kingpin is going to be introduced into the MCU either on a Disney Plus series or within the big screen. We also know that Charlie Cox is part of the MCU already, so we already have his Daredevil. We also know that in Spider-Man No Way Home, there's a bunch of villains coming in full the multiverse. Well, what if this is like all comes together and we have the Kingpin leading these villains against Daredevil and Spider-Man? How cool would that be? And what if, to get away from Sony, they call them the Thunderbolts instead of the Sinister Six? What if they do that? And then this spec would be amazing. But I know that it's a stretch. I know, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. These spec books plays could take a long time to come to fruition. And you know what? This will be one of them, because I'm going to pick up a couple extra copies of this, probably 2 extra, scroll them away, and just see what happens in 4, 5, 6, 10 years. If it doesn't come around and do anything, well, I only spent $4.99 or $5.99 on them, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But guys, those are all my picks for new comic book day in final order cutoff. What did you guys think of today's video? Did you guys like any of the spec that I spoke about in today's video? What did you think of my opening for today's video? Those openings are always so fun to shoot. It does take a little extra time, but guys, to me, it's so worth it. It makes these openings a little original. But guys, thank you guys much for tuning in. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, consider getting yourself subscribed. Hit that bell for notification and smash that like button. All right, guys, I will see you guys probably next Monday for my top picks of the week, and then next Wednesday for another comic book speculation recommendations video. But guys, happy Thanksgiving, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.